A lot of people in Helsinki are working pretty kind of freelance style or like fragmented jobs, and we all have like several times a week like extra 2 hours time to kill in the city center. So instead of just going to a shopping mall or a coffee shop, there was this idea of like building a shared non-commercial space. So the Oodi library is organized on 3 different levels. So what we basically done with the architectural concept of the building is to take the public space catalog that the citizens wanted and then define 3 different levels in the city center, which all have very different contact with the urban heart of Helsinki. The uppermost floor where we are right now is a kind of open landscape of library which is kind of floating above the city. So we are a little bit removed from the kind of noise of the street, the traffic, the kind of people passing by and peeking in and just happening to visit the building. And this is a more kind of quiet space for contemplation, for reading, for thinking, for like intellectual activities, maybe more for also like individual activities. And then in between these 2 open spaces is maybe the most interesting part of the building. It's actually like a solid floor in between the open floors, which then bends down at the ends to create a bridge structure. And then there are a lot of rooms and spaces inside the bridge structure. So we have an open ground floor, open top floor, and divided by a bridge.
Really typical for Finland. I am really glad that we have this great new library here in downtown Helsinki. It's one of the greatest achievements, I think, in Finland is the education, and the library system has supported that for a century in Finland or longer.
Public libraries have from the very beginning been places where people can go to develop themselves, to study, to read, to get books, and the same basic task they have even today. Also very important is the matter of lifelong learning and equality, so people can come to libraries to get different skills, not only reading books but also learning to use different equipment, to use computers, for example, 3D printers, UV printers, all kinds of different equipment.
Libraries are one of my favorite places in Finland, and having a library card is very important for me. So having this kind of a magnificent building with all these services so central in Helsinki, and as to celebrate Finland's history, it's just fantastic.
Finnish people are very enthusiastic library goers, and we start educating our children to go to libraries from early on. Parents take their children to libraries, and also schools and libraries have very strong cooperation. Teachers go to libraries with their classes.
Another important thing about the Oodi library is that it's the main library space, the top floor where we are here right now, is elevated to about the same level as the entrance level of the Finnish parliament, which is facing the library across the kind of this large public space, Citizens Plaza. So in a way, the library elevates the kind of the people, the kind of intelligent, learning and critical people to kind of face their representatives, the members of the parliament, eye to eye,